I don't know, like Wi-Fi is not like just stopped working, so I thought to connect with mobile only.
Okay, sir. Okay.
How's everything going on, Saurabh?
Everything is fine here, sir. Just अभी यहाँ पे सिचुएशन एज यू नो कि दिल्ली से ज्यादा आप लोग तो ज्यादा जानते हो सर, दिल्ली में तो बहुत ज्यादा हालात खराब है, बट हियर आल्सो सिचुएशन इज वेरी सीरियस। और भी बड़ा फील कर रहे हैं कि ये चीज जो दिक्कत आ रही है जल्दी से जल्दी ये परेशानी हो जी। हाँ
I know, like slowly gradually थोड़े केस कम होने तो शुरू हुए हैं, but let's see कब जाके सिचुएशन रुकेगी और कब जाके नॉर्मल से आएगी। But I think in terms of study तो like लगभग 1 साल लगता है हमें वर्चुअल वर्ल्ड में ही जीना पड़ेगा for in terms of study। और
कंसीडरिंग द प्रेजेंट सिनेरियो यही लग रहा है सर कि ये पूरा साल तो वर्चुअली ही तैयारी या एग्जामिनेशन सब प्रोसेस वर्चुअली चलेगा।
It's very true though।
और एक बार आप अनाउंस कर दीजिए कि अब हम YouTube पे लाइव दिख रहे हैं मेरे बच्चों, बड़े प्यार से बैठना है, अच्छे बच्चों की तरह सुनना है।
Thank you Namita ma'am for all the coordination। Good morning, I didn't get a chance to connect with you, but sorry for being late।
Good morning Namita ma'am, this is Priyanka from the team।
Good morning Priyanka ma'am।
I hope you're doing well।
Yes ma'am। सर शुरू करें?
Yes ma'am, we can start। Kamal sir, if everything is okay, then we can start the seminar। Are you comfortable?
Yeah। Yes, for sure। Let me present my screen really quick।
Just a second।
Let me know when you all can see my screen।
May I request the participants to be on mute?
Cool। So shall we start or like
sir, we have a formal introduction session before you start। Okay, we can start with the formal introduction session।
Yeah, for sure go ahead।
So just a second sir। Dear CA students, a very good morning to all of you। I CA Saurabh Goel, Treasurer of Chandigarh branch, on the onset of today's program of Global Opportunities for CA Students with a special focus on US CPA and CMA, gives a warm welcome to all of you on behalf of Chandigarh branch of NIRC of ICI। I personally welcome CA Kamal Chhabra ji, our guest speaker for today's session। A brief about Kamal sir. Kamal sir is an experienced chartered accountant with overall 15 years of experience। He is currently leading KC Global, an edutech company, as a CEO and lead instructor। He is currently into providing international education to Indian students with short mission of bridging the knowledge and experience gap between the national and international students। The firm has a long-term vision to make education most accessible and affordable to everyone on earth by creating one globe, one education system। Kamal sir has a rich experience of handling clientele in USA, Africa, Middle East, and India during his tenure with renowned organizations like EY, PwC, and Indorama Group। He has diverse experience of audit and business advisory for many G360 companies, mid-sized public and private companies। He has successfully cleared many PCAOB inspections on his SEC listed clientele in USA। He has extensively worked on many complex accounting and auditing matters, including implementation of new accounting standards like US GAAP, IFRS 15, 16, and Companies Act in India। Sir, we welcome you on behalf of Chandigarh branch, and without wasting much of the time, we would request you to start the session, sir।
Thank you very much। Thank you, Saurabh ji, and thank you everyone for joining। I'm sure you all would be excited to know more about like opportunities for a student to being like what all things we can do globally, being in our like finance and account profile। You know, give a thumbs up to me if you all are excited। Yeah, I didn't see any thumbs up. You guys are slow. Yeah, here you go, man. Yeah, so I won't waste much of your time, to be very honest. I'll directly jump into the agenda and I'll try to make it as interactive, or you can say as informative possible, so that you can get best out of like next 60 or 70 minutes what we're gonna discuss. Before jumping into like agenda and discussion, I would request each one of you to please put yourself on mute so that like everyone can comfortably listen all the things what we're gonna discuss, because it would be very, very informative to each one of you. I can bet you on this, right? And second thing would be like we have like divided the entire, you can say, the presentation into the 5 agenda items. And after like each agenda item, I'll take a small pause. You can write your question, anything you want to discuss more, in the chat box. After all the presentation, we'll be having a comfortable time to discuss all your question and answers. So that like feel free to type in your chat box whatsoever the question you have. And after all agenda item, like respective agenda item, I'll take a pause and give you a time to type your question, right? So only 2 rules. One, like stick with me and at a mute till the end of presentation. One. And second thing, whatsoever the questions coming in your mind, feel free to type in chat box, because like sometimes questions comes in our mind, but we go in a flow, and at the end we miss those questions. But those questions may be important for our career, right? So would be good, as and when any question comes to your mind, type in the chat box, and then at the end we have comfortable time to discuss all your questions in a Q&A session. Even though like there might be some question which may not be answered due to time constraint, or probably at present we may not have that knowledge to share with you, so we'll get back to you with the answer through the email to each one of you, right? So feel free to type your question in the chat box as and when it come into your mind, and stick with me till the end, but at mute at this point of time, right? Ready to dive in? Cool, thank you very much. So what is most important thing for us being a CA student? What all opportunities we have? Some of you know right, left, center, or middle, right? But probably you may not know all the opportunities available in the market. What all things we can do locally, what all things we can do globally. So first thing we're going to cover what all global opportunities we have, right? And then we're going to cover like what all international courses we have, and we have access from here, right from your home. You don't need to go anywhere to do those courses to get there. In addition to like, I know like CA will make you you can say proficient in the domains of accounting, finance for all the Indian companies, right? But at the same time, if something small you can do in addition to that to make yourself global, why don't we get there, right? So I'll be sharing the list of all international courses which is being available in this market and is being easily accessible to each one of you right from your home. You don't need to go anywhere to get those certifications or those degree to make yourself a global person or a global professional, right? Third thing, we're gonna, like Saurabh sir said, as of now, today we'll be discussing more in deep about the US CPA program. We'll be sharing all the information about like so many programs, but considering the time limitation, as of now today, we'll be sharing more detail about the US CPA program. But whenever next time you'll invite us, and whatsoever the topic or content you like it, we can deliver a separate, you can say, webinar on those respective courses as well, right? And then we'll be sharing how like my team help the respective candidates to get there and the estimated cost to becoming a US CPA. This is all what we're going to cover in next 60 minutes. Excited about it? Cool. Thank you very much. So without wasting much of your time, what all global opportunities we have? These opportunities are both you have locally and you have the same thing globally, but slightly the things are different, which you can bridge through these certification, which you can bridge the knowledge gap. One, being a chartered accountant, the foremost thing, or you can say maximum chartered accountant do, is the audit and attestation profile, which audit include your annual audit, your internal your limited review, your bank audit, your insurance company audit, your special audit, your attestation services, your certification services, anything and everything where the CA actually signed based on their COP, right? I'm sure you all would be knowing this, but I want to give a global flavor to it, right? So for example, if you are an Indian chartered accountant, you are authorized to attest and audit the financial statement as per Indian GAAP and as per the company law 2013. CPA, you get an authority to statement as well as IFRS financial statement under the guidance of PCOB and AICPA. If you do ACCA, you'll be getting an authority and authority audit the financial statement of all the 9 countries, right? Same way, if you do CPA Canada, you get authority to do Canadian company or attest any financial statement of the Canadian company. Same way we have Australia CPA as well. There are so many, right? And some of them, I'm sure like Saurabh would be in a better position to give more light on with all countries where we have memorandum of understanding, which you can avail the certification of the respective country easily by giving just 1 or 2 additional exam. So look at from like local perspective, what all things by doing a CA you can do in India. And if you want to settle and go abroad, what all courses are available, which are like bridging a knowledge gap to get there, right? Same way, finance and accounts, like our Indian Chartered Accountant curriculum has very fantastic, or you can say as much deep into any other course in the world do have for finance and accounts. But like acceptability as well. It's all acceptable in the India. But if you want to go in European nation, probably you need to look at ACCA. If you want to go into American nation, which is like US, Canada, Mexico, go with the US CPA. And if you want to see like the US CPA is predominantly being, you can say, known as well as acknowledged by the so many countries in the world, especially all the developed countries, right? And then in terms of taxes, you say, like in finance and accounts, you can do like management reporting as well. You can do like accounting profile as well. You can do banking profile as well. You can do treasury profile as well. And accounts domain. You can take or anyone to be your expertise in the respective domain, or you can be lead the oral financial statement as well, like month end closing process, quarter end closing process, annual closing process, or you can say preparation of the financial statement, right? And then coming to the third one is the taxes. Being a chartered accountant, you get an expertise of Indian taxation, right? But if you want to do something internationally, the ICI also have the international taxation certification as well. You can do that. And if you want to do specific to any respective country, like for US, Canada, Mexico, you should go for US CPA, as well as they have enrolled agent course. We'll be coming to that, what all those courses are and how within short span of time you can get there. Right? Taxes include both your direct taxes as well as indirect taxes. You'll be doing like all the central taxes, direct taxes you are doing, and you are studying the G as well for the Indian curriculum, right? Same way, the other courses, like I said, US CPA and Enroll Agent, they will take you through the taxation of the US companies, right? Or you can say the entire American nation, right? Same way for the different countries, there are small certification courses as well. You don't need to do entire CPA or entire CA again, but if you want to do yourself, if you want to go into the taxation expertise of any respective country, there are so many certification courses for the respective countries available as well, which is like a bridge course for you. right? By doing a US CPA or a chartered accountant or in the accounts and finance domain, there is another opportunity to being an investment advisor. So you can be a wealth advisor. I know like there are so many CA who do, there are so many CPA who do the investment advisor, but the most preferred course is CFA. If you are willing to go in the investment advisor route, choose the CFA rather than any other course, to be very honest with you, because it will take you to the as deep, so that once you have a deep understanding about all the investment decisions required to be made and how those investment decisions are being made, how to study the market, how to study the financial, and how to look at the futuristic, both like industry as well as to your company, then CFA would be giving you more deep understanding about that, right? And other than that, you can choose risk management profile as well, being a CA also, or in addition to that, there is a course called financial risk management. You can also do that financial risk management. It has exam, can be done easily in 3 to 6 months, to be very honest with you. It's a small certification, but it's very, very globally recognized. All the insurance company, all the banking company, all the investment company, all the mutual fund company, they highly prefer the person who is to whatever you're doing, or if you're not doing anything, then also being an F, it's easy to get there and easy to make your career in the investment advisor as well as the risk management advisor. And in addition to that, almost all the you can or the Fortune 500 company, they have a special designated person, or you can say special designated domain as a risk management domain, which comes under their internal control purview, right? By doing an FRM or by doing whatsoever you're doing, you can look at the opportunity in the risk management profile as well. That's also very unique and a very growing profile. Why it's good so far? Because the data is coming huge nowadays. It's coming so big to manage the data, to manage the fraud going around in the world. How to mitigate the risk of the fraud, this risk management policymaker is a very, very designated or important profile, right? In a look at for the business advice, business advisory include like deal advisory as well. How you get there? First of being into the business advisory profile, you have an understanding about the business. How do you get the understanding about the business? You are already gaining some of the learning through your CA curriculum. From the local to global, here the catch, wants to go from local to global and take a move to your career from local. Understand is the global law, rules, regulation, and the accounting framework, right? So to understand those laws, rules, regulation, and accounting framework, or some or the other certification course, right? If you are looking for the company for acquisition, merger between the European nation and Indian nation, European nation within European nation, US nation to European nation, or maybe Australia to Canada, or somewhere on the different part of the world where you want to go. So what you need to do, the first and the most important thing, to develop your skill to get there, right? In the next slide, we'll be sharing all the courses which you can do in easily in 6 to 12 months. Some of them will take more than that, but they are very, very specialized courses to get there, right? We'll be discussing more in detail about that, but just giving you a glance where you can go in the business advisory. Business advisory include deal advisory. It also include your international taxation. Advising on the international taxation is also comes under the part of business advisory. Third is in terms of accounting advisory. You know, whenever the new accounting standard come, whether it's Ind AS, IFRS, or US GAAP, or any different GAAP in the world, so you can be a business advisor to the company, an advisor on their accounting problems or accounting matters. An advisor can be for the you can say the audit matter as well, but most of the company do the take the advice services from third party for the accounting matter, because auditing matter generally leave up to the auditor, right? So here's the thing, in the advisory you can go for accounting matter, you can go for a deal advisory, you can go for international taxation as well, right? And then coming to the management consultant part, so next profile in which you can think of your career is the management consultant. Management consultant would be in the MIS reporting, or would be in the group reporting, or would be in the internal control framework, where you are helping management in preparation of their financial statement, in ensuring the internal control environment, and at the same time you will be helping management in budgeting, financing decision, or the planning or forecasting decision. All those profiles come under the management consulting role, right? And second last is the forensic, like we discussed a lot, how in this virtual world you don't know you personally what your employee is doing, or you don't know what your vendor is doing, what your customer is doing. You're not poking your nose to everyone's home right now, because everyone is living in their home, and the data is coming so big these days. It's in itself is a very, very big challenge to manage the data, and there are so much opportunity for the people to do the fraud. At the same time, there is so much risk from the company perspective to get it fraud, right? So there's a catch to have a forensic department. Either it can be within the company to have some forensic department. If you see all the bank, I'm sure like some of you might be doing internship, or some of you are already a chartered accountant. You might have done some or the other bank audit. There is a vigilance committee in the bank. That's called like forensic department within the bank. All the prospective frauds or existing fraud within the bank, right? Same way, if you have done the audit of insurance company, mutual fund company, or any company which manage the big data, they definitely have a forensic department or a vigilance department, whatsoever the name you call it, but they would be having some or the other eyes to manage and maintain the risk of fraud, right? For them also, being a CA, it's been very much required. In addition to that, like CPA, or you can say FRM, or maybe the different certification we're going to discuss in detail in the next slide. Those all would be required to get there in the forensic department in the respective company. For all the US listed company, there is a mandatory department is forensic department. So there should be a mandatory listed in New York Stock Exchange. They have mandatory to have a forensic department or a vigilance department, or maybe within the internal audit team, there would be a separate dedicated team for managing the risk, right? And then the corporate governance team, right? For all the listed company within the India or across the globe, whosoever is the listed company have a corporate governance, right, to manage their overall operation within the bylaws of the SEBI, how in India, who issue the rules and regulation for managing the overall, you can say, operation of the company. Same way in US, how we have like PCOB, who issues SEC, Security Exchange Commission, who issues rules and regulation for the corporate governance committee, how they need to supervise the overall operation of the company. Same way in the different part of the world, in the different country, there are similar bodies, right? So you can be in the part of the corporate governance committee in future, couple of years down the line when you get the experience, or you can assist the corporate governance committee from the company in itself. So in addition to that, there are so many other domains as well. I'm sure you might be working right, left, or center, but these are very, very, you can say, prominent domain, or you can say the domains which are in which more than 95% of chartered accountant or CPA work actually. One thing is part of job. right? These things you can look at from the job perspective. Now coming to your own practice, right? First thing you're already doing might be like if you're a CA, or if you're in practice, or if you're a student whose parents or like maybe brother, sister, or friends are already in practice, they might be seeing, you might be seeing that what all practice they do. Generally, if I see in India, the people do practice in three things only. One is audit and attestation profile, second is accounting, and third is taxation, right? But by doing some or the other additional course, or by further exploring to your capabilities, what you have learning in the CA curriculum, you can do, or you can expand your practice in different domain as well. Maybe individually it would be very hard, so it would be great to collaborate with the respective skill set or respective experienced person, because like one person cannot reach to the that height which as a team you can, right? So look at the networking, look at the collaboration, look at your friend circle, look at the different capabilities of the people around you, and get into the collaboration with them, right? In addition to audit, accounts, and taxation, you can look at for the IT audit support services, right? You can look at the investment advisor services, right? You can look at the, you can say, risk management advisor services. You can look at the deal advisory services. You can look at like international transaction tax advisory services. You can go for internal management controls, development of internal controls for the management. And you can give nowadays, like you can say, if you startup word or this new MSME word, which is dominating the growth of the overall economy of the world, whether it's India or the different part of the world. The next wave or next growth segment is your startup and MSME, right? But those MSME and startups struggle with what? Their capabilities. You know, it would be like 2% startup, 3% startup, 4% startup, or a 1% startup. But one person, he may be engineer, he may be a doctor, he or she may be an engineer, he or she may be a doctor, or he or she may be just a graduate, or he or she may not be educated enough to know about all these things. So look at the opportunities to serving those communities. You can make your practice in itself just supporting the MSME and startup, right? What all things you can do? You can have your own shared service center to supporting the MSME and startup only. So by virtue of that, what all you can do, you can give them a virtual CEO services. You can give them virtual CFO services. You can give them common shared services, right? Whether it would be accounting, payroll management, or you can look at right, left, and center and collaborate. For example, if you already have some clients, why don't you collaborate and provide like IT support services? Why don't you provide them a training services? Why don't you provide them a consulting services? There's so many things. Being a chartered accountant or being any other qualified professional you can do, right? So by giving this slide as a global opportunity, don't look just what around you. Just take a step up and look at the world, what they are doing, what best practices are happening in the world. Do some research in the direction where you want to go. And I'm sure by doing some research, you'll be getting some of the clues what I can do and how I can do. And further drill down to that, if you want to have one-on-one session with me, I would be more than happy to sit with you and help you out in shaping up your idea into a sellable model, right? So these all are global opportunities in which you can look at from the job perspective as well as from your own practice. And sky is the limit, to be very honest with you, for a professional like you. Each one of you can attain any heights in the world, right? taking a pause here. If you have any question, feel free to type in chat box.
So, sir, before moving ahead, can we have one poll question to serve the audience better?
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me, Priyanka.
Participants, I would request you to please fill in the poll question. This will help us to serve you better.
Yeah, these polling questions is very, very important for us when we are moving on to when we are moving into the next slide to understand more about you, so that we can take all the communications, all the webinar into the direction, the way you are, or the way you want to listen to us. Thanks, Priyanka.
Thank you, sir.
Can you all see the polling question in the chat box?
Audience, we are not going to buff you with a lot of questions, so don't worry, just 2 more.
Yeah, it will help you as well, to be very honest, to understand what you want to do in your life. Give a thumbs up once you are done, so that we can see how many of you are done. Cool. I got Ritika, Aman, Prerna, Nishchay.
I have a question as well.
Yep. We can discuss like at the end.
Right. All right, sir.
Yeah, just note down all the questions. Yeah, give a thumbs up, guys. So far, only 3 people. How many responses you received, Priyanka?
Just checking, sir.
Yeah, Mukul is done. Abhilaksha is done. Good. Thanks, Sandeep, Himani, Shivam. Thank you.
I'll share the responses in a moment. It is taking some time to upload.
How much responses we got so far?
Yeah, it is getting time to, we've got 36 responses till now.
How much? 26?
36.
36. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Come on, guys. We have more than 70.
Oh, we have a lot of people in the finals.
Yeah. Yes, 38 participants. Come on, guys. We just got 36.
I think we should wait for another 2 minutes for everyone to finish up the form.
Yeah, don't delay your departure. Huh? And there's a lot of exciting things coming on your way in next few slides. So just don't delay to get there.
Great.
Come on, fast. How many responses we got so far, Priyanka?
So we've got 38.
Come on, guys. It's just halfway. Will not ask much question, but I'm telling you, this question will help you to, you can say, introspect yourself what he wants to do, where you are and what he wants to do. And it will also help us, giving us like feed for like next couple of slides where we want to take the overall direction of this webinar.
Yes, I'm seeing progressing. We can wait for
Yeah.
1 more minute and
Yeah, maybe like you can repeat the link in chat box, like if somebody has missed or has
all
difficulty.
right. I'll
Yeah, thanks Anup, Ritu, Simran, thank you very much. And by the meantime, like whosoever is done, you can jot down my name, number, email ID. So reaching out to me for any further discussion. Yeah. Okay. So how many response we got, Priyanka, so far?
Sir, we have got 43 responses.
Okay. Now, what's the overall composition?
Yes, I'll just show you the poll results here. And so we have 90% people from the finals and very few, 1% to 2.3% from the first phase of CPT and 6.8% from the PCC, that is the second stage of your chartered accountancy examination.
Got it, got it. Cool. Thank you very much. Thanks for sharing your. And it's definitely help us in giving the direction in which we should go further, right? And I know we have 2 more questions. Like if you can respond to them, it will give us complete picture or complete direction where we need to take the webinar from the next step. So maybe like Priyanka, if you can put those questions one by one, and
Sure.
let's get the response as much as possible.
Sure, sir.
Yeah, just a 2-minute quick exercise, guys. Won't take much time, and we won't delay your departure as well, and we won't delay to give you so much information what we have to share with you. Cool. You can type. Yeah. What is the poll question 2, Priyanka, we have?
So we have the poll question is what level of understanding does the candidate has about the international courses related to accounts and finance domain?
Cool. The simplest question in the earth. Kind of simple question, right? Being in this toughest curriculum in the world, I'm sure this would be the easiest answer on the earth for you. Thanks,
Ankita and
Ankita.
Mukul are
Thank you, Mukul.
Ankita and Mukul are the fastest fingers first.
I'm sure we should give some goodies to them after this webinar.
Definitely.
Yeah. Wait for third one. Like let people respond to the second one.
Sure.
Thanks, Ravi. Thank Anuj. Good. Great, Abhishek. Yeah, we are getting response, right? That's good though. Thanks, Nupun. Thank you, Manmeet.
Oh, quite quick.
Yeah, for the CA student. Huh? Earlier you asked the toughest question. What's the full name? Right? Got it.
Now the next question is going to be a little more interesting.
Okay. How much response you got so far?
So far, we've got 40 responses, and I'm expecting more responses here.
Those responses?
40.
No, like the results.
Yeah, just a sec, sir.
वेट का मैंने बच्चों फटाफट करो राजेश जल्दी हरे आप.
So there are 56% of our audience who know some of, they have some level of understanding for the international courses. 38% of people who have moderately, but 4.5% of our audience have complete information about it.
Great, great. Thank you. And the last question for the day.
Yes, this is poll question 3, guys.
Finally, the last question of the day. What's that question, Priyanka? Can you say that?
Yeah, sure. That question is pretty much an interesting question. Where do you want to settle in your life?
Where do you want to settle? Like US, Canada, Europe?
US, Canada, anywhere abroad, or in India, or you want to stay in the motherland?
Oh my
Mars.
God! Who wants to go to Mars?
If you want to go to Mars, okay. For going to Mars, start collecting the money.
I know, like Elon Musk is trying to have a, you can say, flight to Mars. Yeah, maybe 5 years down the line you can get there. Okay, very interesting. Wow, Paramdev, like your answer. Cool.
So we got
think
44 responses here, and oh my God, 40% of the people want to stay in India. There are 25% of the people who want to go anywhere.
I think we lost Priyanka.
Abroad, 22% we have who want to go to USA, and who are keen to go to Canada. This is interesting.
Yeah, so that's interesting number. And you can say like in different part of the India, like we get the different numbers, and lucky to you can say know where you want to go and where you want to settle. You know, so stick with us. I'm sure you'll be getting a lot in next few slides. Moving on to the next agenda item, like international courses. Like we discussed, we'll be discussing more in detail about the US CPA. So in US CPA, you have only 4 exams. You can easily do in 6 to 12 months. Because that's a national average data. Same way you have like USCMA, which is Certified Management Accountant, which has only 2 exams, more on like management accounting, costing and financing. If you have interest in management accounting, costing or finance specifically, I think CMA is a great certification to do that, which you can easily do. Like people like you can easily done in 6 months, to be very honest with you. Like normally a graduate person or undergrad person will take 6 to 9 months, but people like you who are so sharp in your studies, you can do easily in 6 months about the USCMA. And then there's one more course, US Enrolled Agent. I'm not sure whether you heard about this or not, but this is for the US taxation expertise only, right? This is a small course, has only 1 exam. It can be easily done in 3 to 6 months. Right? And it will give you an expertise of the US taxation. Then you have CIA program. If you want to build your career in the internal audit or internal control framework, then I think CIA is a very good certification you should look for, which has only 1 exam and can be done in 3 to 6 months easily. If you want to go in a domain of IT auditing, or the data security, and I think the CISA is the best one in the world. It is the best one in the world, I'm telling you. We have DISA as well in India, which our institute provide, but that's more prominent, prominently is being working for the Indian professional. But if you look at the globally, which one is the most renowned course is the CISA of the US. Right? And then if you want to go and settle in the European nation, then you can do for UK ACCA. And there are so many exemptions. Like overall, they have 13 exams, which can be done in 24 to 36 months. That's their national average data from the ACCA institute itself. But being a graduate, you get some exemption. Being a CA, you also get further exemption. So you can narrow down to further to, I think, 9 exams, and then to a CA, I think 4 or 5 exams. So it's not big as it looks, to be very honest, to being after a chartered accountant course. But if you want to pursue after the graduation before your CA course, then it will take at least 9 exams, and which generally like student will clear in like 18 to 24 months, to be very honest with you. And then if you want to go in the specialization course like a CFA, being an investment advisor or investment banker or a wealth management kind of person, then go for a CFA, which has three level, and it's very, very tough, to be very honest. On an average, like the national data, which take like 30 to 42 months for a person to complete all 3 level of CFA, right? Like we discussed more about like FRM as well in our earlier slide, which is financial risk management course. It has 2 exams only, can be done easily in 6 to 9 months, similar to CMA. If you are interested in risk management or fraud investigation kind of team, so it would be good to go for a FRM certification in addition to what study you are doing, right? And if you just wanted to create your expertise more into the IFRS, then go for a diploma in IFRS. And in addition to that, one thing that each one of you must do is you can say certification in data analytics. That also have only 1 exam, and it's a very, very easy certification to avail. But this is something is very much in demand in anything and everything what you're gonna do in your future. So be ready for it. This is something you must know how to work in this big data environment, to be very honest with you. Right. In addition to that, there are so many courses. I'm sure I have not listed down all the courses, but these are the main courses in accounts, finance, or investment domains, which are so much prevailing across the globe. But if you want to do anything specific, there are so many courses. Like we said earlier, we have like international taxation course by ICI as well. If you just wanted to go into DTA or international taxation expertise, you can go for that certification. Or if you want to go into actuarial lines, you can do the actuarial as well. Or there are so many different nuts and bolts, but these are the highest prevalent course in the world. More than 80% professional in the accounting and finance or investment domain or banking domain do these courses. But in addition to that, there are so many courses which you can do. There are so many certifications which you can do. There's no limit to it. But what we are sharing here is the most pro-dominant course in the world, which more than 80% professional across the globe in the finance, accounts, and taxation domain too. Right? Now, like we discussed, what all companies hire these professionals. Like these are the companies, like whether it's like, if you say a big public accounting firm, it's Deloitte, EY, PwC, KPMG, Grant Thornton, BDO, Mazars, and many more. If you have any of these certification, these all are companies which you can look for. There are so many companies. Considering the limit of a page, we just jotted down few of their names, to be very honest with you. But there are so many thousands of companies who look for all these professionals, right? If you see the financial services, the Bank of America, American Express, Barclays, Bloomberg, MetLife, Deutsche Bank, Citibank, they all hire USCPA, CMA, as well as data analytics, FRM, ACCA, they hire all these professionals, right? And then if you see the Fortune 500 company, whether it's like S&P, Capgemini, HP, Abbott, Apple, Amazon, Caterpillar, Google, Facebook, Insta, and all these companies, they all hire a lot of USCPA as well as other professional courses, which we discussed, but most of them hire USCPA. If I say in all these courses, which one is the most predominant courses, is the USCPA course, which is widely accepted across the globe, and in which we are going in more deep now, right? That is called Quick Route to Become a Global Professional. That is a US CPA. One reason is the global acceptability. If you see how in India, Institute of Chartered Accountants have a memorandum of understanding with different body of the different world, different part of the country, right? Same way, the US body, which is AICPA, American Institute of Certified Public Accounting, they have a memorandum of recognition, not only memorandum of understanding, but they have mutual recognition agreement between many countries, which include Canada, Australia, Scotland, New Zealand, and many European nations. So that means the mutual recognition agreement says if you are a US CPA and wants to settle in Canada, wants to settle in Australia, you don't need to do Canadian CPA. You don't need to do Australian CPA. You would be considered as equivalent degree of the respective country. So that's the big difference. They have memorandum of understanding with more than 90 countries in the world, almost all the developed nations, and they have mutual recognition agreement as well with most of the countries. So that if you are a US CPA, you do not need to do any additional qualification to get settled in the respective country or the respective part of the world. One thing. Second thing is the international career. You can work in MNC, you can do your own US CPA practice as well. You can do it. There is no residency requirement that to do a US CPA practice, you need to live in US. No, it's not at all required. You can do your own US CPA practice from India as well, or any part of the world. There is no residency requirement to do your US CPA practice to be in US. Third thing is the highest demanding course in the world, and it has highest growth potential. The reason why I'm saying so, one, if you see within India, more than 75% of MNCs are US based MNCs. And if you look at the worldwide, more than 34% MNCs are US based MNC. Here also, if you have seen, these are global, you can say G360 company, will definitely are US based MNCs in which you are working. Some of your friends are working, some of your family members are working, or you look for working in these companies. And you will be using their product day in, day out. Whatsoever the laptop you're using, whether it's HP, Dell, either they are Android based or iOS based, right? They both are US based company. What all day you do, whether you do Google, you do YouTube, you do Netflix, you do Facebook, or you do LinkedIn, all are US based company. Whatsoever you eat or whatsoever you drive, you will see the most agent companies are US based company. We have so much strong presence in India and across the globe of these US based company. And these all US based company hired US CPA in bundles. The demand is so huge. I'll tell you the next 4-year projection, Indian market in itself required more than 1 lakh CPA. And you know the actual data, how much CPA we are producing in India? It's only 3,000 to 4,000 in a year. If you look at the history, the US CPA is not a new course in India. It's been in India from 1997. It's almost 24 years. And so far we have produced 52,000 CPA for the world. And you know the fact, out of those 52,000 CPA, 43,000 CPA are settled in different parts of the world and leading such a big organization in the world. And those 9,000 CPA who are living in India, they are also leading so many big company or US based company in India, including the company like EY, PwC, Deloitte, GT, Morgan Stanley. They all are led by the US CPAs. And some of them have dual degree, like CA and CPA, both, right? And if I say why you should think about doing a US CPA, the reason being it's very It's not as hard as a chartered accountant course, to be very honest with you. It's not as hard the company secretary course. It's not as hard ICW course what we have in India. It's so easy, and it has only and only 4 exams. We're going to come in details what all 4 exams in it and what is the exam pattern, what is the curriculum in it, but it has only 4 exams, and exams happen right here in India. You don't need to travel to US to appear for exam. You don't need to travel anywhere different part of the world to sit for the exam. You can sit for the exam right here from India. And these all are the examination center. You have examination center in Gurgaon, Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, and Trivandrum. These are 8 prometric centers where you can sit for the exam right here in India. Right? Before I move on to the third item, if you have any question why you should think about doing a CPA, feel free to type in the chat box. Now, coming to the average compensation, why we study so hard, right, is to understand what I'll be getting after that. You know, a fresher package of a US CPA in India is 7 to 10 lakh rupees. Just a fresher CPA package. You can imagine yourself 9 months down the line, 10 months down the line, when you are done with the fresh package for yourself is in a range of 7 to 10 lakh rupees. And we provide a free placement support services to each of our candidates to get there. And if you're planning to settle in US, the fresher US CPA package in US is in a range of $55,000 to $70,000. That means 45 lakh rupees to 52 lakh rupees. And if you're planning to settle in Canada, so the fresher US CPA package in Canada is 60,000 Canadian dollar to 75,000 Canadian dollar. That means 40 to 50 lakh rupees. And one most beautiful thing I'll tell you here, if you are a US CPA and you just go to the Canadian CPA authority, submit your document, within 24 hours, you will get Canadian CPA as well. US CPA license, you want to do your own practice in Canada and you need a Canadian CPA license, you do not need to do any additional education. You do not need to appear for any exam. You just need to go there and submit your document. Within 24 hours, you will get Canadian CPA license as well. That means like a buy one, get one offer, right? So settle in Australia, Europe, or Middle East. The fresher US CPA package is in a range of $50,000 to $70,000, which is a huge, right? If you are planning to settle in Canada, you can get the Canadian CPA license, buy one, get one. You need to incur some, you need to pay some membership fees and all the stuff, but you don't need to sit for any exam, right? And if you are planning to settle in US, your fresher package is in the range of 45 lakh to 52 lakh rupees. And if you're planning to settle in Europe, Middle East, or you can say Australia, the fresher package would be $50,000 to $70,000, which is a huge money for a starter, to be very honest with you. Right? Any doubt, any question, feel free to type in chat box. I'll be more than happy to take up your question. Moving on, like we understand what all global opportunities we have. We understand what is our core strength. We understand what our market, and then now we jumped into the easiest route, which is a US CPA. We learned about like why one should think about doing a US CPA. Now, what is in US CPA basically? You know, getting more deep into the US CPA stuff. What is in US CPA? Here we are understanding 3 things. 1, who is the governing body? Second, what all expertise you'll get, and what all things you can do after that, right? The governing body is similar. How in India we have Institute of Chartered Accountant of India. Same way in US we have American Institute of Certified Public Accountant, who is the main governing body, right? In addition to that, we have US State Board of Accountancy. They are for the administrative purpose who ensure your admission or the results communications and the licensing part. But all examinations, or you can say more of like rules and regulation part, is coming through the AICPA. So these two are the governing body for the USCPA curriculum, as well as after you become a USC, right? By doing a USCPA, what all things you will be attaining in terms of expertise. One is US GAAP and IFRS. This is the only course which give you, can you put on mute if you don't mind? Yeah, so this is the only course which give you the expertise of the both US GAAP as well as IFRS. Why I'm saying so, it is so important. We know across the globe, other than US nation, everyone follow IFRS, or they have inclined their accounting standard in line with IFRS. Similarly, how we align Ind AS in line with IFRS, right? And none of the other course provide the expertise of US GAAP. So this is the only course which give you the global coverage in terms of all accounting matters, right? You get an expertise, deep expertise of US GAAP, as well as you get an expertise of IFRS. That means you're covering all the accounting problems or accounting matter relating to US, and you'll be covering the entire world as well. So this is the only course which will give you the complete global expertise in accounting domain. Second thing is the PCAOB and AICPA auditing standard. How in India we have Institute of Chartered Accountant, they issue auditing standard for the private company. How in India we have SEBI, who issue the auditing standard to audit the listed company, right? Same way in US, we have PCAOB, Public Company Accounting Oversight Board, who issue the auditing standard how to audit the listed company in US. And AICPA, they issue the auditing standard how to audit the private companies in US, right? So why I'm saying so, this is so important to know the auditing standard issued by PCAOB and AICPA, because they are the toughest rule maker in the world. Rest of the body in the world, they follow them as their benchmark when they are developing their own auditing standard and the rules and regulation around the auditing. So these are the benchmark. Whosoever the body in the world, they make their own auditing standard or the rules for the auditor in the world. That means you'll be learning top-notch thing in the world. By learning those auditing standard of PCAOB and AICPA, you can understand all the auditing standard in the different part of the world, because you know the base which rest of the world has taken. So you have a solid foundation so that you can go and get settled in any part of the world in audit and attestation domain, right? The third thing is SEC rules and regulation. SEC stands for Security Exchange Commission. How in India we have SEBI, right? Same way in US we have SEC. How in India SEBI issue rule and regulation for the company who are listed, how they need to operate and maintain their overall corporate governance, or you can say overall corporate environment. Same way in US, SEC issue all the rules and regulation for the US companies who are listed in US. What all cover in it? The corporate governance committee, the rules and responsibility of the corporate governance committee, board of director, responsibility of the director, audit committee, responsibility of the audit committee, auditor appointment, responsibility of the auditor, and in addition to that, the COSO framework, which include all the entity level controls. And again, these rules and regulations are the toughest and top-notch rules and regulation in the world. Rest of the, you can say, rest of the world Security Exchange Commission or the respective body take those rules and regulation as the benchmark when they develop their own rules and regulation. Same way, by getting an expertise, by doing a USCPA of those top-notch rules and regulation, you have a solid foundation By that solid foundation, you can settle in US, Canada, Mexico, Australia, Europe, India, or any different part of the world, right? And the last and the most important thing is the US taxation expertise. It's so hard to find in the entire world the US tax expertise. Why I'm saying so? It's in highest demand in this world at this point of time. The reason being two. One, this point of 5% of the companies are US based MNCs, and in the world, almost 34% of MNCs are US based MNCs, right? They require a US taxation expert to guide them to make sure they are following the rule of US taxation when they are, whether it's for their individual or in for the consolidation or for the double tax avoidance agreement or for the international taxation guidances. You know, the overall world in the US in itself, we have only 150,000 US tax expert. And in India, can you believe we have less than 9,000 US taxation expert. And the demand is so huge. In next 3 to 4 years, the Indian market in itself required 35,000 US taxation expert. In addition to like the domains of accounting, auditing, finance, what we have discussed, the demand, the US taxation demand within India in itself is more than 35,000 candidates, right? And after doing all this curriculum, after gaining all this expertise, you can work in all the domain, audit, finance, accounting, international taxation, business advisory, and many more, what we have looked at first slide. By doing a US CPA and after getting a license of US CPA, you get an authority to attest and review US GAAP financial statement as well as IFRS financial statement under the guidance of AICPA and PCAOB for all the company in US or their subsidiary in the different part of the world, right? This is all what is in US CPA, who is the governing body, what all expertise you get, what all things you can do, what all authorities you get, right? If you have any question, feel free to type in chat box. Now we learn why one should think about doing a US CPA. What is in US CPA? Exams we have, what all curriculum we have, right? The 4 subject all the time we are saying is 1, financial accounting and reporting. If you look at the content, it's 80 to 85% is same what you have already studied in your CA or in your commerce graduation. Only the 50% is the 15% is different, which is the difference between Indian accounting standard and US accounting standard and the Indian governmental accounting and US governmental accounting. But I'm telling you 80 to 85% is same what you have already learned. You don't need to do so much additional study to pass the US CPA exam. Second, if you look at audit and attestation section, you have done through ethics, you have done through professional responsibility, you have done the general rules, you have done the risk assessment procedure, you can say different area of, you have done the conclusion, you know the reporting section, right? Almost 85 to 90% is same what you have learned so far in your CA study as well as in your graduation. Only 10 to 15% is different, which is the difference between Indian auditing standard and US auditing standard and the reporting framework for the governmental. Auditing standard for the governmental in US and for the governmental in India, right? Nothing much. So you are almost done 80 to 85% study in your curriculum, whatever you have done so far. You just need to refresh your knowledge and brush up those changes which is different from Indian standard to US standard. That is was the only additional pain or additional learning you need to do, right? Third thing, if you see business environment and concept, this is 100% same what you have already learned. You don't need to do any additional study for that. To be very honest with you, it's 100% same what you have learned in your graduation and what you have learned in your CA curriculum so far. don't need to do any additional education. You just need to understand the way exam is and the exam pattern is it. That's it, and you're done. And if you look at the regulation part, it has 30% is ethics and business law, which you already know from your graduation as well as from CA curriculum. Only 70% is different. That is something new which you need to learn or which you need to invest more time and energy. Other than that, to be very honest, if you look at the curriculum, if you look at the exams, you are more than 80% familiar with curriculum, I can bet you. What you need to do to get this global degree is only 20% extra study or covering 20% more, whatsoever you call, right? And each exam is 50% multiple choice question, 50% simulation. An exam is of 4 hours. Within the 4 hours, you'll be getting a 15-minute break. Any question around the exam chat box? Now we understand why exam pattern. The next and the most important thing is the nuts and bolts about the process to becoming a US CPA, right? For all animals to do US CPA, first he or she has been hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I got some disturbance in between. Request you to put yourself on mute just for a few more minutes. We are almost closing it, right? So first thing is to know the eligibility, whether I am eligible to do US CPA or not. To give the graduation, whether you are BCom or a BBA, will give you a 30 credit. And if you have done your graduation with more than 60% of marks, you'll get additional 30 credit. And in total, you have 120 credit. So you are eligible to sit for USC. Second, for example, in your BCom or BBA, whatsoever the commerce education you have done, you have not scored more than 60% of marks. So your CA intermediate or your CS intermediate or ICW intermediate would be considered as 1 year of post-graduation program, and they give you additional 30 credit for that as well. So CA intermediate also get additional 30 credit. That means if in your graduation you have 90 credit, then you'll be getting a 30 additional credit of your CA intermediate as well. That means if you are a BCom or BBA plus CA intermediate, then you'll be having a 120 complete credit to sit for US CPA exam, right? Then, for example, if you are a graduate, but you have not scored more than 60% of marks and you have not done any CS, then you can do 1 year of post-graduation diploma in accounting in addition to your normal study, or if MCom parallelly. So 1 year of MCom or 1 year of MBA will also give you additional 30 credit to sit for the USCP exam. So in nutshell, total 120 credit required. 90 credit can easily avail from your BCom graduation or a BBA graduation. If you are a more than 60%, if you have achieved more than 60% marks, you get additional 30 credit from your graduation in itself, and you can sit for exam. Or if you are a CA, CS or ICW intermediate, then also you get additional 30 credit. If you are complete CA, CS or ICW, you'll get additional 60 credit. And if you have done first year of MCom or first year of MBA, then also you get additional 30 credit. If you are done with MCom or MBA, you'll get additional 60 credit. Or if you have done just 1 year of post-graduation diploma in accounting and finance will get additional 30. 120 credit, you are eligible to sit for the USCPA exam, right?
Excuse
so
me,
what
sir.
is the admission process?
Sir, I think your the transmission of the video is getting disturbed.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, it is better. I would request the participants to be off video so that the length of the call might not get disturbed.
Yeah.
And put yourself on mute. May I request you, sir, to take up the eligibility section again? And,
Okay.
that will be helpful.
Okay.
May I request Chandan Mohan to put himself on mute? A lot of time he's on mute and mute.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes,
Am I
Brenda. Yes, you're audible.
I want to ask something. Can I?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, I was asking about how many credits to BCom degree from IGNOU, that is MU between ICA and IGNOU and CA Interclear give.
Yes, Brenda,
Yeah,
we've got your question on the chat box.
Yes,
And
yes.
Sir will answer.
Yeah, we'll cover all the question after this. Like we are just 2 more slides left. Let's finish it so that for the benefit of everyone, I'm sure it may answer some of your question, but your specific question will be speaking after this.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Just allow us 5 or 7 more minutes. Cool, thank you. So coming back to the eligibility, so minimum eligibility is required 120 credit. How this 120 credits comes, like 3 year of your BCom will give you 90 credit, 30 credit of every year. And if you are a BCom or BPA with more than 60% of marks, you'll get additional 30 credit. And then you are being eligible to be to appear for USCPA exam. And if you have like done the CA intermediate, so you'll additionally get 30 credit. If you have done like MCom first year or MBA first year, those also get additional 30 credit. Or if you have done your MCom, MBA, you'll get additional 60 credit. Or if you have done just 1 year of post-graduation diploma in accounting and finance, that also get additional 30 credit. So in nutshell, you require 120 credit in total in accounting and finance domain majorly to sit for the USCPA exam. I know some of you have different questions like about the IGNOU or all those stuff. So one thing, the BCom from ANAC University will give you the complete credit. If it is not ANAC University, then we need to look at the specific case. In the end of the webinar, we'll be sharing all our contact details so we can have one-on-one discussion on your respective university, whether it's ANAC or not. Second, like Vrinda said, like the MOU between the CA Institute and the IGNOU, we need to understand how much subject you have done and how much exams you have appeared, because every exams have respective credit. So it's hard to say, like if this is the overall 3-year program and you have appeared for all the, like you can say 14 to 18 exam, then you'll be definitely getting the entire 90 credit. If it is just a 5 exam or 6 exam and you get the additional degree, you won't be getting all the 90 credit for the BCom. We can discuss one-on-one in detail, but at a very high level, the arrangement, for example, the BCom and CA Institute have, like CA degree will give you 60 credit, and then the BCom, if you have cleared just in 1 year, then it will give you additional 30 credit. In total, if you appeared in both, you get more than 60% of marks, then you'll be having the 120 credit. Because the credit system in US is different than the credit system in India, right? We can discuss more in detail after this next 2 slides, right? But in total, you are requiring 120 credit to sit for the USCPA exam 1. Second is the process of getting the admission. First thing is you need to get the transcript of your bachelor degree from wherever you have done your BCom or BBA, masters, or the CA, CS, ICWA, whatsoever the course you have done. You need to take the transcript from them, right? Second, you need to send those transcript to WES, which is Word Evaluation Services, or the NASBA. The NASBA is the examination body of AICPA. So both of them evaluate for the USCPA curriculum, right? After the evaluation, third step is the enrollment. In US, we have 55 states, and every state has their state board of accountancy, right? So you need to enroll yourself with one of the state board. Like we discussed earlier, state board are only for the administrative purpose, for your admission and licensing mainly. But it has nothing to do with your degree, or it has nothing to do with your certification, and it has nothing to do with the exam. Exams are uniform certified public accountant exams, right? Now, third thing is examination. First, once you are eligible, second, you've done the admission, third is examination section, right? Examination, what all things you need to do? First, you need to study. To study, for that, you would be requiring a learning management software. That is something must for a USCPA exam. We'll be coming in detail what all things would have in a learning management software. In addition to that, we provide the live classes as well on Saturday, Sunday, 11 to 4 p.m. Right? So first, you need to study to sit for the exam. Second, you need to schedule your exam. Like we discussed earlier, now exams are happening right here in India. You don't need to travel to sit for the exam in US or in different part of the world. And third is the most important thing. For each exam, you need to score 75. 75 looks very high in student, to be very honest with you, but actually it's not so tough. If you see, the national average pass rate is 50 to 55%. That means if 100 students sit for the USCP exam, more than 50 pass in every exam in one go. It is not as tough as your CA, CS or ICWA professional. If you compare, the result is 50 to 55%. That means it's 9 to 10 times easy CA, CS, ICW examination. 75 number may looks big, but you have multiple choice, all simulation. You have so many basic things. That's the reason if 100 students sit for the exam, more than 50 pass in one go. Is 18-month passing window. Like we discussed, in USCP, it's not required that all the 4 exams you need to give in one. Any day you like it, because exam window is open 365 days. Right? You can sit for exam in morning, afternoon, or late afternoon, in any business time, at any day you like it. Right? It's not like November and May or December and June. It's open 365 days. You can sit for any exam, any day you like it. One. Second thing is 18-month. Sit for exam in any sequence you like it. It's not required. You need to pass all the 4 exams in one go, right? So here is the example I can share how you can correlate with this 18-month passing window. 18-month passing window means the day you cleared your first exam. From that day to next month, you need to clear rest of your 3 exams. Let's say, for example, in January 21, one student appeared for first exam and luckily cleared his first exam in one go, right? And the second exam, the student planned in the month of June 21. And the student has cleared the second exam in June 21. Same way, third exam, the student has planned in December 21. And luckily, he or she has cleared the third exam in December 21. And the fourth exam, the last exam, the student has planned in June 22. And unfortunately, this time the student has. So what will happen right now? The first exam the student has cleared in January 21. From that date till June 22 was the 18-month window in which the student need to clear rest of the 3 exams. The student has cleared second exam, third exam, but unfortunately, student has not cleared fourth exam within 18 months. So what will happen the day student has cleared the second exam? That means June 21. From that date, the rolling window will start. That means by December 22, from June 21 to December 22, the student need to clear all the 4 exams. That means 4th exam has not passed and the 1st exam which has lapsed. The 2 exam will still exist. It will not lapse till December 22. But in next 6 months, the student need to clear the 4th exam which he or she has not cleared and the 1st exam which has got lapsed. Right? Make sense? Any question about eligibility, admission process, examination process, and especially about the passing window? If you have, type in the chat box. Once you are done with all the 4 exams and you want to do your own practice, then you need to take the CPA license. Similarly, how in India we take COP, right? For that, there are different rules we'll be covering once you get there. We have a separate licensing team to help you out to get the CPA license, right? Moving in the interest of time, moving on to the next 2 more slides which we need to cover. I know we are running short of time. Thanks for your being so patient with us, and thanks for your time and sitting with us continuously. 2 more slides only which we need to cover. How we help. One, we provide you the learning management software in which you'll be having a 350 plus US professor pre-recorded video, electronic book, 7,700 plus multiple choice question, 400 plus simulation, and unlimited mock test. In addition to that, we'll provide the live classroom training as well. And all these things, what we'll be sharing with you with the unlimited access until you pass. It's not like that your software will expire in 12 months, 18 months, or 24 months. Your software will be with you until you pass your CPA exams. Same as our classroom as well. We will give you the live classes for all the 4 subjects. And for any subject or any topic, if you are not comfortable, will not charge again. You are more than welcome to join the class again free of cost with us, right? And we have a lot of feature about the technologies. Our software is, you can say, highest adoptable software in the world, and they have patented ASAP technology, which can save more than 70% of your time. We can discuss one-on-one when you have time to know more about that technology in one session. But software which will be giving to you is the Surgeon software, and it has ASAP technology, which is the #1 technology, 20% of your study time, right? The third thing is pay as you need. We provide like 5-day free trial of the learning management software, and it has very user friendly. You can see and you can feel how the overall learning management software, how the US professor teach, how the electronic book is being structured, what are multiple choice question and simulation you have. In addition to that, we also provide free live class session as well. You can come and see how we teach to the different part of the world, different student in our live classes, and how they are shaping up their career in a one go to becoming a US CPA. Right. In addition to that, we also provide flexible payment plan. You can discuss more in detail with us after this webinar. We can provide, like, if you want to start, we can provide you only the one learn. That means you don't need to buy everything in one go. You can just buy one piece to get started and understand whether you can get there or not get there, rather than wasting the entire amount of money of 1 lakh, 2 lakh, or 3 lakh rupees, right? In addition to that, we provide the EMI payments plan as well, right? This is all about the payment plan, but most important thing is the mentor and counselor support. Here, I mean, is mentor. You get to know directly, you'll be having a contact detail of the professor who would be teaching you the respective subject. You know, especially in all these international courses, what is missing is one-on-one contact or a direct relation between the tutor and tutee, or the teacher and the student, right? Here we'll be giving you the contact detail of respective teacher who will be teaching you the respective subject, so that later on, whenever you are doing your self-study, you can reach out to your teacher for any query or any question. In addition to that, like in we have seen how to become CPA, there are so many overall process. We have a dedicated counselor who will be helping you throughout the process, how to get the transcript, how to get the evaluation done, which board you need to select, how to schedule your exam, to pay the fees, what a form fill, how you need to fill the form, anything and everything. So for that, we have a dedicated team to help you with all the nuts throughout the process of USCPA. And after that, we have a separate licensing team. In future, when you need CPA work as well, both online as well as offline, right? But say cherry on the ice is free placement support. We provide you 100% free placement support. All the candidates who do the USCPA from our institute, we provide 100% free placement support. In India, in a range of 7 to 10 lakh rupees, a fresher package we provide. Right now, we all are Indians, being more interested to know what is the overall cost to becoming a USCPA, right? So you need to start with buying a learning management software. So learning management software, you can buy the bundle at 69,900 for all the 4 subjects, or you can buy individual subject as well at just rupees 19,900 each. This is including 18% GST, right? Once you get the software, then second thing is buying the live classes, the tuition classes, which is just 29,000 rupees, including 18% GST. And if you want to buy only one subject, for example, you have good understanding of audit, you have good understanding of accounting, you have good understanding of business, you may not like studying the same thing in the classroom again. Or maybe if you are already a CA, you know the in-depth of accounting, audit, and business. You don't need to study everything again. You can just buy a regulation class, which is a new subject for you. So you can buy one by one topic,
excuse me,
and you can buy all the 4. You are saying something?
Discuss all these details. I think I just received a call from our chairman sir also. If we cannot discuss all these details, I think we have shared all the individual details with all the students. So I request you, sir, ki if all the contents and the knowledge part is over, then we can conclude the session, sir, with your permission.
Yeah, thank you very much. These all are contact details. You can jot down our contact details and discussion, and or otherwise we can respond through the all the questions we have noted down in the chat box.
Students, if you have any of the questions regarding the USCPA program, then you can ask in the chat box.
The participants have left a lot of questions on the chat box. So what we'll do is I request all the participants to, sir, please if you can hold on this slide and they can note down the numbers and the emails. We'll first of all, we will answer all the questions over a group email. And I would request all the participants to please reach out to us, any of us from your mobile numbers or your emails for any clarification regarding this. We're very happy to have.
Yeah, I think, yeah, Saurabh, I think we are good. So like maybe student can jot down our contact detail and we can have one-on-one discussions.
So there is one query that please explain 18 months criteria again.
Yeah, so like I'll illustrate the example again. For example, the day you cleared your first exam, from that date in next 18 months, the rest of the 3 exams, right? The student has cleared first exam in January. From that day, that means till 30th June, he or she need to clear the rest of the 3 exams, right? So first exam the student has cleared in January 21. Second exam student appeared in June 21 and has cleared the second exam. Third exam student appeared in December 21 and cleared the third exam in December. Same sequence, the student appeared for the fourth exam in June 22. And unfortunately, in June 22, student has not cleared. These 2 exams need to give in the next 6 months. Does that make sense?
Sir, is there any internship in US CPA?
No internship required. If you need license to practice, for different state have different requirement to work in the accounting, finance, auditing, taxation, or investment domain, but it's not necessary to be under any CPA, but it can be certified by any practicing CPA. Yeah, Priyanka, any other question?
We have questions, sir, but would you be giving us time to solve the questions here, or do we write it or email?
Sir, I think we are already short of time, and it is already short. So we would request
No problem, sir.
To drop your email so that if any query is unleft, then they can ask at a later stage.
For sure.
Sure, sir. We'll take up all the questions in the chat box over an email, sir.
For sure.
The last query is there, sir. How CA can do more better?
So actuarials, sir, there's a question as to how can a CA do better than an actuarian in risk management?
Say that again. Actuarials.
Actuarians.
Yeah, actuarial is altogether a different course. You know, for that, like it's altogether a separate. You can say specialization required. But it has nothing to do with CA. You know, actuarial in itself is a separate course, and as being like altogether required a separate level of understanding as well as like deep knowledge of like you can say permutation, combination, forecasting, and all those things which they do. Like it has nothing to do. It's altogether a different, you can say, profession. But like Saurabh, would you like to add something on it?
Sir, I agree with you that actuarial is a completely different course. It is related to some, like we have an accounting standard 15 related to some gratuity calculation, provision for gratuity and leave calculation, estimated ability calculated in that actuarial course. That is a independent course, and it's a separate course, not related with this CPA.
Yeah, that in itself is a separate domain as well.
Yeah.
You know, but it like actuarial, like Saurabh just said, like for the gratuity calculation, for the provision of, like, you can say liability. Now, like if you see like in big companies like automobile company, they use actuarial for the warranty provision, and big IT company, they use actuarial for the you can say leverage calculation, and big, like you can say. You all might have debit card and credit card, right? Whenever you swipe your debit card and credit card, there are some reward points. All those reward company, they use actuarial for calculation of their redemptions, possibility of the redemptions and all those stuff. So there are so many, you can say, new industries coming up, with the new ways of using the actuarial services rather than just the traditional services which like actuarial was providing earlier under like in India we were using in AS15. I know we used a lot the actuarial for the demographic assumption and all those stuff when they do for the calculation of the leave liability, or you can say pension liabilities and all those stuff. In addition to that, there are so many trusts who manage the fund as well. They also use actuarial, and a lot of like investment banking company, they also use the different reasons. Other than that, like any other question, Priyanka, we have?
We'll leave that on to answering onto the email, and we'll expect more emails from the lot of participants here. We can conclude the session as we are running out of time. Saurav sir.
Thanks a lot, Kamal sir. Thank you
My
for your time for coming here with our branch, and I hope the session is very much informative for the students, and it would help them a long way in getting the nitty-gritties of US CPA. So
Yes.
thanks a lot again, sir. We will look forward, and if any of the queries is still unresolved, I hope that students will get in touch with you in future. So
Yes.
generous thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir, for giving us this opportunity to meet with such a fantastic, you can say, students as well as a chartered accountant. And to me, like it's all new in Chandigarh because I belong to like Delhi Gurgaon area. So fantastic to meet each one of you, and looking forward to connect with each one of you very soon. Maybe like hope everyone is safe at your place, your family and friends, and maybe this situation will get over soon, and we'll be having a one-on-one personal session like this in more in detail, and where we can have more chance and opportunity to meet with each one of you in person as well. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot from our
Thank you, Saurav sir. Thank you, Namita ma'am.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Okay, Namita ji, thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
हाँ, मैं सोच रहा था कुछ कहेंगे कि यहाँ से वहां आ जाओ, ये कुछ
अभी भी लाइव स्ट्रीम हो रही है यूट्यूब पे।
अभी भी यूट्यूब पे लाइव है।
क्या करना है, अपने वैल्यूएबल थॉट शेयर कर दे क्या?
कर दे।
टारगेट हो जाएंगे फिर लोग।
जल्दी सेलिब्रेटिंग इवेंट। कर दो तो क्या करोगे?
उस वाले को जो ज्वाइन अभी कर नहीं सकते।
अभी तो हम उनसे बात कर लेते हैं एक बार।
ये मैसेज देख मेरे को।
तान्या का मैसेज आया कि दूसरा ज्वाइन कर लो अपनी वाली क्लास। चलो फिर चलो तेरा आया नहीं मैसेज?
हाँ मैंने करा नहीं, मैं यही कुछ और लिख रहा था वैसे तो मैं, पर तान्या का आ गया, उधर गया।
ठीक है।